No big deal, we're just gonna make a spontaneous and sudden return to Cosmic Express to do its end game after playing 2 other new releases in the puzzle adventure media genre. Yeah, I was about to say medium. I'm like, that's a weird way to that's just a weird way to refer to it. So, what happened is we beat the game last time. But right before we beat the end of the game thing, this nightmare puzzle that hurt my brain a lot, these guys roll here, and I'm like, look at all these weird spots everywhere. Those are interesting, aren't they? And look, oh, that's a weird monolith thing, and I lit up one of those monoliths. Isn't that interesting? And now there's other ones everywhere, and some kind of map to help me find them. And the game was like, hey, buddy, I'm gonna help you out. And they gave me these stars that are white to help me tell which ones are those. Evidently, which is interesting because there already were white stars before, but normally the white stars meant that there's 2 different exits, so you can do the 2 different exits in order to leave the puzzle and get 2 different branches. But now we're also finding out that the white stars also indicate that there's a monolith in that location that you can solve in order to get all the monoliths that are in Nova 7, of which there are many more to find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 more, so there's 10 total. I got one of them during the main game. That was the only one I found. I didn't notice a single monolith the entire game, somehow. Admittedly, I didn't know to look for them for most of it, and even after I need to look for them, I was focused on other things. Really? Interesting. Interesting. Because, like, 8 here has 2 exits because it branches out. 2 doesn't have 2 exits, even though on the map it does have 2 exits. I guess they just didn't want to spring that on you immediately, but they wanted to give you more options to play with, I guess. So you'd expect this one to be a white star already for the 2 exits reason, but there isn't 2 exits. Instead, we need to figure out what this monolith is. And now we know that they gave me a hint at these bastards in the 2nd goddamn level of the game. Okay. I mean, this one should be staggeringly easy, right? I just mirror my solution, basically. Which, oh man, I'm gonna have to get back into the brain space of how to solve these ones, aren't I? I didn't actually do that right. I didn't do that right at all, did I? No, it's the one on... You have to take it to the opposite side. Sorry, gotta get into this again. So take you there, then you there. I don't know why mirroring is something I thought would work. There we go. 1 monolith down. 8 to go. And then the game surprises me by saying there's even more or something for all I know. Because at once upon a time I thought there was 6 galaxies and ha 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 about that. Taking a break was probably a mistake, but I was getting a lot of requests about Pillars of the Earth Book 3, which, and The Room Old Sins, which, you know, new pieces of content come out for playthroughs I've already done. It makes sense that people would want them to continue. I guess I'll go left to right as much as I can. I might miss some of the white stars on my first glance just because they, white is not that off from a bright yellow. So this one's very specific, but I bet that this one minor change is just destructive in nature. So I have 2 tracks. Specifically, this one has to go there. I can imagine how you might work with that. If you extend this track further, you'd pick up that one first. You'd pick up that one first. In which case you could probably... Which one is it? Drop them off first here. Then continue. I'm gonna go ahead and make no other changes and just see what happens. Not gonna work. It's not gonna work because we're not gonna pick up all 3 of them. So the correct person goes in the monolith, but the puzzle's not solved, and that's kind of an important part of the whole puzzle game thing, is to solve puzzles, shockingly. How would one better grab the intermediate one that's getting dodged entirely? I can't go down here and pick him up because there's a plant in the way. That would be too easy. In fact, it'd be shockingly easy to just go grab him and go back and continue on our way. That's not an option. Hmm. Alright. I was workshopping a few weird ideas. I was like, what if I went down here and then through the back? And I was wondering, like, is there some weird way where I squiggle up and down through the back, then came back through this way? Like, you'd have enough exit room to be able to leave through that direction. But while that might be workable as a weird alternate solution for the puzzle as a whole, it's not going to actually help me get the correct guy to there, as far as I can tell. I wouldn't be touching them in the right order. Or would I? Oh well, let's just try things. Let's try new things. Experiment with our bodies. Do. I need to pick up the last one first, then the one that is the Monolith one. Then go back, I guess, to then drop this one off here, and drop off the Monolith one here. I might be on the right track. That I can pick up the last dude here and drop him off in the back, then leave. But I need to change something about the beginning here. Because I can't get this guy. But I might be able to go just pick him up first, then the Monolith one. Now Monolith is in the second seat. If I go straight over here, I can drop off the first one. Then I can pick up this other one I wasn't able to pick up because it was full. Now the car is full once again. Shit. Now that has the additional problem of the non-Monolith one will be in the first seat, so they'll get dropped off first. But instead of going all the way back, I could just go drop off both people, then come back for the one guy that I'd still be missing. Like that. I think that might work, but I also wasn't holding it all in my head at once, necessarily, so I might have skipped some stuff in my brain. The Monolith lit up. It actually lights up and makes a sound when you put the right person in the right house, even if it's not done yet. Just indicate that that's a success moment there. There we go. My weird reverse thing that I thought was a dumb gambit actually was the solution, or at least it was my solution. It's hard to tell sometimes whether or not there's a singular solution in these cases or not. 3 are lit up. This might be a briefer return to the game than I expected. I don't know. Delphinus. Delphinus. Delphi. Okay. That doesn't sound crazy. Take him there. How hard could it be, right? Impossible, you say? Can't wait. Is this an incredibly minor change or not, I wonder? First of all, let's just get that out of the way. Just space wasty. If I'm just gonna go, you start here, go through here, we grab those two, drop them off here, grab those two, drop them off there, then deal with the greens was the original plan. No reason to waste so much space. In fact, I could even go like this, which seems kind of pointless, but whatever. Wow. These early levels were so inefficient. You could change so much of the placement of stuff like it's no big deal. It feels weird to see that now after having had to play through them and the comparative difficulties. It kind of shows how tight and restrictive and choking the later levels got over time. So the obvious struggle here is that this guy's probably going to be in the second car, so I need to reach that one second. One idea being to just go down like this, and that would more or less drop them off in such a fashion, but then can you make the rest of the level work at that point? Like, how do I pick up the other two dudes? You'd have to go around like this to pick them up, and then how do you reach the rest of the level? Can I make this green zone more efficient? Possibly. By our standards nowadays, it's probably not even that hard anymore. No. We missed an important piece of problem here, which is that we're immediately in trouble because this damn thing... Oops. By squiggling like that, I've taken care of the monolith problem, which, watch here, you'll see this thing glow. Yeah, look at it go. That's the game indicating that you did the monolith part correctly. Problem is, if I go downward, I'm trapping myself, then that I can't get these guys there anyway. Unless I... That doesn't work either. You can go around behind them to deliver them, but then you can't leave. But I wonder if I can do some nonsense, because there's so much open space around here, if I can deliver one green at a time. Is that an option? Because by our more modern standards, there's like a nonsensical amount of open space in this level that's almost uncomfortable. Purple, I mean orange, oops. Let's rewind this a little bit. Grab you here, take you to that one, then you to that one, you to that one, you to the... Then have to go to that one. Yeah, we're one tile off, I think, from making that work the way I want it to. That could have been fun. I think it was mostly working, right? Which makes the sound happen. If it's unclear, what I'm trying to do is... I have a crisscross problem where the number of lanes I can use to get through gets restricted really quickly based on the direction I'm going in with the monolith, so I wanted to see if I could deliver them one at a time. One at a time being because if I grabbed both greens, then both cars would become inaccessible. But that doesn't actually solve the problem down here because I can't actually escape in such a way. The fountain's actually the problem. If the fountain wasn't here, I could grab him and drop him off here, then go up to pick him up here and drop him off there. Like that, this one tile is what's in the way. But that's always... That's what this game is. That's how it works. That's what it do. That's how the game do. Like there's no... It's really just the fountain. The fountain is the Doombringer. The ender of worlds. It sings the song that ends the world. Blurg. Ah. Not rewinding correctly at all. I'm making horrible mistakes. This might be an entirely unworkable approach to this level. What if I pick up both of them? Right, well, that drops off both of them. That drops off both of them. Damn it. I was like, what if I did a weird drop them off one at a time thing again, where I just saved the correct one for the correct spot? I might be able to kind of wiggle just right through here, but kind of hard to get by without dropping them off. No. Yeah, that entire approach is bunk. I find myself being drawn back to my previous plan, more or less. I want to see if I can fix it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, is that this doesn't line up correctly. This feels like the kind of epiphany that this developer usually wants from you when they want you to iterate on something, as this kind of weird change. Let's start by going backwards. What has to happen? We have to go along the back wall, I believe, because if we came in from like this, we'd be closing it all off. So it has to come along the back wall, has to reach that house, and that dude, and that house, and then that dude. And the question is, how do you make that work? It's difficult to make it work because you specifically had to, like, go around the other way. You could hold both of them at once, though. Like, what if you went up and grabbed this dude here, then went back down and swooped back around for both? Let's test it. I've actually lost track of some of the earlier stuff to see if that would pan out or not. Was that the change that had to happen? I think I did it. Yeah! Solve backwards. Always helpful. Alright. Yeah, this is either going to be a really strange, like, 2-episode return to this game, or this thing has another surprise up its sleeve, and I don't know which. I'm a little scared. Alright. It's usually one per system. I don't see any more around here. It's not the end of the world if I miss one, because we can just go find it. Maybe a little out of order. The only changes take you there. Isn't that curious? Not the easiest change ever, though, is it? Because in my current plan, I pick up both of them back to back, which means the first one goes here and the second goes there, so the drop-off order's reversed. And how one would change that is curious. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Must have just been a pointless little wrinkle. We have 2 cars. That dropped off both oranges and then dropped off... Yeah, picked them up and then dropped them off. What if I picked one... What if I picked both up and dropped one off? I find it curious that you have enough space to do this. Which means I could keep an orange in here, which would let me that allow me to sort of have more control over which one goes where. That one has to go there. Nah, I was thinking, like, what if I went around the back? Then I could drop, like, the 2 other ones off, then pick up the other ones or something, but, wait, does that actually work? I kind of scribbled a little bit, and I lost the thread, but I think that actually makes sense. Nope, nope, yeah. I had some sense that something was wrong, and I couldn't tell what it was, but because I couldn't identify the problem, I lost the thread of it. I was like, what went wrong? But no, it's that this guy can't get it picked up. I did a thing where I lost track of the economy of what the characters were, basically, so I was like, oh yeah, this picks one up, and then, hey look, that picks them up, so we're good, right? But not picking up on the fact that it's the same guy in both cases. Also, I dropped that guy off in the wrong house, so the sound didn't even play, which defeats the whole purpose. But then, of course, that doesn't even pick him up in the first place if you go that way. It's just the wrong one going in the wrong house. Even here would pick up that one first and then drop him off here. I wonder if there's a version of playing it backwards that's more helpful. It's like almost kind of working. Can I change this to pick that guy up? Where, of course, the vital thing is dropping this guy off here first. Otherwise, picking up both of them and dropping them both off doesn't work for my purpose of why I'm playing this level again. I almost want to just keep them highlighted without matching the button. Oh, you can hold it down technically. One way of differentiating them visually, I guess. I'm kind of just looking for strange implementations, possibly just for the sake of it, which is probably the problem. Like, what if I wrap around the back? Is that in any way even vaguely helpful? Probably not. Oh, wait. If I go this way, I can pick you guys up in the reverse order, which means I drop them off in the correct order for what I'm doing, right? It's funny how a Hail Mary can be really useful in this game, because you just do a weird thing that doesn't seem like it makes sense, which is often the solution, because a weird, how do you put it? Like, it's a, you have to work against, yeah, you have to work against what's intuitive, essentially, because the intuitive thing is the solution you already did. So you have to sort of throw it against the wall and make an unintuitive thing happen, and then suddenly you're like, oh yeah, it's the solution, because that's how this works. Haha. We're halfway there. Right? 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 Let's do one more real quick, I think. Cassiopeia. Oh, that doesn't look great. I remember this level. It has this damn lamp that is the only reason it's difficult. Because otherwise it's like, oh, look at all these nice, this nice open area, all this room space you have to work with, but you have one car and you have this damn lamp, which creates this dead-end situation, which makes it harder to turn anyone into this building here. Like, you can't even swoop around to turn this one in from the back necessarily, or can you? Did I just do that? 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 Did I just solve the level in like 5 seconds? I think that's what happened. It turns out alternate solutions to easier earlier levels might be relatively easy after you've done the final levels. Alright. That's more or less the early game, aside from Taurus. The next episode might be harder, because these are alternate solutions to harder puzzles. We'll see how the next 4 go.